What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Hang on a second. I'm sorry, guys. I probably shouldn't even have fucking went live, but yeah. Anyway. Everything's so. How did everything just get so fucked right now, dude? Let's talk some FBI cases real quick, guys. Let's read. Let's talk. Let's hear about. I can't even think. Let's talk about Houston Wade Young, his wife, and 3 of his children. Wednesday, November 15, 2023, from meeting press release. Springfield, Missouri. A Kansas City, Missouri couple was indicted by a federal grand jury on charges related to sexual exploitation of 3 child victims. Houston Wade Young, 36, and Jessica Ann Young, 33, were charged with an 8-count superseding indictment returned by a federal grand jury in Springfield, Missouri on Tuesday, November 14th. The superseding indictment replaces the original indictment returned against Houston Young on July 25th, 2023, and adds Jessica Young, who was arrested today, so yesterday, as a defendant with additional charges. The federal indictment charges Houston Young with 1 count of using a minor, identified in court documents as Jane Doe, to produce child pornography, 2 counts of using the internet and a cell phone to attempt to induce Jane Doe and another minor, identified in court documents as Jane Doe 1, to engage in illegal sexual activity, 1 count of receiving and distributing child pornography, and 1 count of distributing child pornography. The indictment charges Jessica Young with 2 counts of using a minor, John Doe 1, and another child victim, identified in court documents as John Doe 2, to produce child pornography, and 1 count of receiving and distributing child pornography. The charges contained in this indictment are simply accusations and not evidence of guilt. Evidence supporting the charges must be presented to a federal trial jury whose duty is to determine guilt or innocence. So I will write these ones down. I will write their names down. I want to know more about this case. Houston. Hmm. 36 and Jessica and 33, Springfield, Missouri. There are a couple really good parasites right there, huh? San Antonio man pleads guilty to sexual exploitation of children. Wednesday, November 25th, 2023, San Antonio. A San Antonio man pleaded guilty in a federal court in San Antonio to 1 count of sexual exploitation of children. According to court documents, Adrian Scott Warren, 46, disclosed to another user in a private messaging app that he had been engaging in sexual contact with a prepubescent minor for several years. Warren also told the app user that he was interested in meeting up to engage in sexual activity and watch child pornography that Warren would provide. Additionally, Warren used the app to send 2 photos of an adult male sexually assaulting a child. On August 4th, 2022, Warren traveled to meet the messaging app user at a hotel where he expected to engage in sexual acts with the user's 9-year-old nephew. Instead, Warren was met by FBI agents who arrested him and seized his phone. Warren is scheduled to be sentenced on February 21st, 2024, and faces a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison, with a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison. A federal district judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. I hope they give him 30 fucking years. I hope they give him 30 years. What's up, Mick? I didn't even see you in there, bro. Nice to see you, man. Oh, yeah, are you still here? Yeah, you are. Hell yeah. What's up, bro? What's up? We're just talking pedophiles and parasites and cases from the FBI's. Ohio man sentenced to 180 months in prison. Ohio man sentenced to 180 months in prison. Wednesday, November 15th. Fort Wayne. Gregory Johnson, 47 years old, of Franklin, Ohio, was sentenced by United States District Court Chief Judge Holly A. Brady on his conviction for attempted child exploitation following a 2-day jury trial, announced United States Attorney Clifford D. Johnson. Defendant Johnson was sentenced to 180 months in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release. According to documents in the case, in April 2020, Johnson engaged in sexually explicit online conversations with an undercover officer who Johnson believed to be sexually active with a minor. Over the course of several online conversations, Johnson made sexual comments about the minor and expressed an interest in watching a live stream of the minor engaged in sexual activity with the undercover officer. Johnson attempted to commit this crime by providing the undercover officer with graphic detail about exactly what he wanted to see. This case was investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigations and was prosecuted by Assistant United States Attorneys Leslie J. Miller and Miller Lowry and Justin Sheridan. Oregon man. Oh, that's not correct. I think we already read that one. Yep, Lisa. What's up, Pinky? I appreciate it, Mick. Mucky Mick. I appreciate you being here. I really do. I appreciate you coming and showing respect. I really do. Pinky, I need you to give me your address.
Get down. Get down.
Yep. Oh, man. And this is why this case right here, I guarantee you, will be the perfectly good prime example of why these parasites should never be released off probation or parole. Period. Registered sex offender convicted of possessing child sexual abusive material. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A federal grand jury convicted a Pittsburgh man today, the 15th of November, for possessing modified child sexual abusive material of child celebrities. United States Attorney Eric G. Alslin of the Western District of Pennsylvania, Acting Assistant Attorney General Nicole M. Argentry of the Justice Department's Criminal Division, a Special Agent in charge Mike Nordwall of the FBI Pittsburgh Field Office made the announcement. According to court documents and evidence presented at trial, on 2 separate occasions, James Smelko, 33 years old, of Franklin, Ohio, was SMELKO 56 of Pittsburgh, possessed pictures that digitally superimposed the faces of child actors onto nude bodies and bodies engaged in sex acts. Smelko possessed the pictures at his home in Pittsburgh, and law enforcement discovered the pictures during a search of Smelko's computer. Smelko was then charged for possessing CSAM, child sexually abusive material. While pending trial, Smelko was found to have violated his conditions of release by again possessing such images. After concerning searches and images were detected by court-mandated monitoring software on his cell phone. What a fuck. The jury convicted Smelko of 2 counts of possessing child pornography. He is scheduled to be sentenced on March 28, 2024, and faces a maximum penalty of 40 years in prison. A federal district court judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines for other statutory factors. I hope they hang him. Literally hang him. Let's read about Tony Jake Jr. real quick, and then I'm going to get out of here. I got a bunch of shit to do still, and all is not fine and well in the house of G2K right now. What the fuck? Can't we test on them rather than animals? I'm down. I'm down. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Alexander M.M. Ubales, United States Attorney for the District of New Mexico, and Raul Bunjanda, Special Agent in charge of the FBI Albuquerque Field Office, announced that Tony Jake Jr. pled guilty to abusive sexual contact. Jake, 75 years old, of Pine Hill, New Mexico, and an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation, will remain on conditions of release pending sentencing, which has not been scheduled. According to court records, on May 28, 2022, Jane Doe, a child under the age of 12, reported to her mother that she had been sexually assaulted by a man she did not know during a church service. Special agents from the FBI responded and began interviewing individuals who had seen Jane Doe that day. One witness reported that they had noticed Jane Doe was not with the other children, and when they went to find her, they found her with Jake, and that Jane Doe was visibly upset. In his plea agreement, which I don't agree with, they should never get a fucking plea agreement, Jake admitted that he had approached Jane Doe, that he had touched her inappropriately, and that she was upset by his conduct. At sentencing, Jake faces any term of years up to life in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release. Wow. Ooh, Fruitland, man. I wonder if this is here in our state, right?
Yeah.
Nope, it's in Albuquerque. Fruitland, Albuquerque. Tampa man sentenced. Oh, where'd it go? Tampa man sentenced to more than 36 years in federal prison for producing and distributing child sexual abuse material. November 14th. What?
He's in there eating something. Get out of the kitchen. Stay out of the kitchen.
Tampa, Florida. U.S. District Judge Catherine Mizell.
Did you do that?
Has sentenced Mark Peterson, 30, from Tampa, to 36 years and 8 months in federal prison for producing and distribution of child sexual abuse material. The court also ordered Peterson to forfeit electronic devices used during the offense and pay $2,419.44 in restitution. Peterson had pled guilty on May 23, 2023. According to court documents between 2017 and 2018, through the social media application Facebook, Peterson enticed and coerced a 16-year-old victim to produce sexually explicit images and videos of herself. In 2020, through the social media application Discord, Peterson traded images and videos of children, including toddlers and babies, being sexually abused. This case was investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and was prosecuted by Assistant United States Attorney Alyssa M. Spergrill. It is another case brought to you brought as part of Project Safe Childhood. I like that organization. St. Augustine serial child molester convicted of hacking Jambertron, child exploitation offenses, sex offender registration violations, and firearm possession. Friday, November 17th, 2023. Jacksonville, Florida. United States Attorney Roger B. Hanberg announces that a federal jury today found Samuel Arthur Thompson, 53, of St. Augustine, guilty of producing, receiving, and possessing child sexual abusive material, producing CSAM while required to register as a sex offender, violating the Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act, or the SORNA, sending unauthorized damaging commands to a protected computer, and possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. Thompson faces a mandatory minimum term of 35 years imprisonment. His sentencing hearing is scheduled for March 25th, 2024. Thompson was first charged by criminal complaint in 2019. According to evidence presented at trial, Thompson was convicted of sodomizing of a 14-year-old male child in 1998 in Alabama, and was therefore a convicted felon required to register as a sex offender, including reporting his international travel. Thompson was hired as a contractor by the Jacksonville Jaguars around 2013 to consult on the design and installation of the Jaguars' new video board network, referred to as the Jumbotron, and later to operate the Jumbotron on game days. Thompson's contract with the Jaguars required him to report his conviction, but he did not. In January 2018, the Jaguars determined not to renew Thompson's contract after learning of his conviction and status as a registered sex offender. Before the expiration of Thompson's conviction in March of 2018, Thompson installed remote access software on a spare server in the Jaguars server room. He then remotely accessed computers that control the Jumbotron during 3 2018 season NFL games, causing the video boards reportedly to malfunction. After conducting an investigation, the Jaguars determined that the outages were being caused by a malicious actor sending commands via a spare server. On December 16, 2018, the Jaguars set up a honeypot by putting the server on its own network and removing its access to the other computers that controlled the Jumbotron. During the next NFL game, the spare server was again remotely accessed and attempted to be used to send commands to computers controlling the Jumbotron. The Jaguars were able to capture the internet protocol, the IP address of the intruder, which the Federal Bureau of Investigation traced to Thompson's residence. In July 2019, the FBI executed a federal search warrant at Thompson's residence and seized a number of his computers. The FBI also seized a firearm from Thompson's nightstand, which he was prohibited from possessing as a convicted felon. Log files from Thompson's iPhone, iPad, and 2 laptops showed that all those devices had been used to remotely access the spare server. Additionally, the FBI found thousands of images and hundreds of videos on multiple defendants' personal devices depicting CSAM. This CSAM included images and videos depicting the sexual abuse of prepubescent children, bondage and torture of children, and bestiality. The CSAM also included a video and series of photos that Thompson produced in June of 2019 depicting children that had been in his care and custody. Thompson's voice could be heard speaking to the children at the beginning of the video, and the video was taken in Thompson's living room. Subsequent interviews of 3 male children that had been in Thompson's care in 2019 revealed that Thompson had molested 2 of the children, exposed himself to 2 of the children, exposed children to CSAM, spoke to the children about sex and masturbation, and had encouraged the children to play a game wherein the children would require to take off their clothes and run around Thompson's house. It was while the children, 7, 8, and 10 years old at the time, were playing the game that Thompson produced CSAM. A review of Thompson's iPad further revealed that he had been searching the dark web for CSAM at the time the FBI knocked on his door with the search warrant. Fucking wow. Thompson traveled to the Bahamas on a work trip from July 6th to the 14th in 2019. The next day, on July 15th, 2019, Thompson registered as a sex offender and failed to report this travel as required by the Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act. The same day, Thompson also received CSAM via the dark web. On July 27, 2019, Thompson fled to the Philippines, once again failing to report his travel. Thompson's passport was revoked and he was deported from the Philippines on January 31st, 2020. He was arrested by FBI upon arrival in the United States and later ordered detained pending trial. The evidence presented at trial also proved that certain assets the United States is forfeiting from the defendant, specifically a Smith & Wesson firearm, an iPhone 7, an iPad, 2 laptop computers, and a custom-built desktop computer were used in the offenses. And on that name, what's up, Arctic? CSAM, it's here. I'll put it. It's CSA. Oh, I hate when I do that. CSAM is child sexual abuse. Good. Anyway, these cases just get worse and worse and worse, man. They just get worse and worse and worse. What's up, James? You want to talk, bud? I know. I've been a shitty host. I've been a shitty friend. I know. I know. I know all these acronyms these days are fucking confusing as hell. You're right, Arctic. Like this one person came up to me the other day. There's like OMG, LMFAO. Oh. I'm like, that's so sus. They're like, oh, I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Like, I should be offended right now. Like, that's so sus. What? So stupid? Because that's just stupid. You should just say that's just suspicious. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Today has been a hell of a fucking day, man. A hell of a day. Trying to get my daughter all registered and shit for online school and yeah, all other kind of shit. And then I just started neurotherapy in counseling. See how that turns out. It's supposed to be kind of beneficial for a lot of issues I got. Kind of cool. I just get to sit there in a reclining chair that heats up, cools down, vibrates.
Mhm.
Get to stare at these cool ass pictures, these cool ass images on the TV in front of me, and just think about nothing if I don't want to.
That's cool.
And all it is like they put these electrodes up. They put one on one ear. They put one on one ear, and then two on my other ear, and then one on each side of my head, like towards the back, but on top. And it plays music. You can either pick music or a movie. You can either watch a movie or music, and it's like specifically like it'll have like these like kind of like listening to a record, like an actual record. How they got those clicks and pops in it, you know. It's got those in it every once in a while, and that's when I guess it monitors your brainwaves and shit.
Hmm.
And it's supposed to help like get your um brain firing back on the right stuff.
Hmm.
Instead of because the brain holds on to trauma, but lets go of the positive shit, and it kind of helps retrain the brain, I guess, or some shit like that. That's how we use it. That's how I understand it. Yeah, registration's in August. Yeah. But my daughter was taken out of public school and put into homeschool, well, online school, because she's got some issues, I guess you could say. So we pulled her out of public school and put her into Arctic says, I just monitor your brain waves with telepathy. Well, fuck, what did they tell you? It tells you I'm pretty fucked up in there, ain't it? Yeah, I'm putting that one up there. I'm probably gonna leave that one up there the whole time now. But so what? James just popped in for a second, and now he's back out of here and gone. Yeah, he pissed off at me, but it is what it is. I've been a shitty host these last few weeks. I know. I just had a lot of shit going on, man. And especially when I'm doing Thursday night chilling and chatting, I don't want to talk about the negative shit. So my bad. You know what I mean? But Arctic, I got a fucking bone to pick with you, buddy. I got a bone to pick with you, buddy. Yep, I do. Oh, I thought that was funny. Bone to pick with Arctic and a bone to pick with Opa.
There's always a bone to pick with Oprah.
You're right, babe. There is. There's always a bone to pick with Opa. God damn it. What's up, LOL? You know what's up, Arctic. You fucking know what's up. 2 weeks in a row? Oh, sorry, I fell asleep. Yawn. Oh. That's what it was yesterday. What was it last week? Oh, I just got carried away in my computer stuff. Oh. Yep. Then Oprah rooting for Katie and not me. Oh man, I tell you what. Lots of dog bones in the chat. Fucking smart ass. Oprah, today you're required to have a little bit of adult with you. Arkansas. What's up? Stop picking on people's bones. What the fuck? What the hell's up with you guys and defending everybody else? Look, Arkansas. Opa, my sister, was rooting for Kaylee to win bingo the other night, and I was like, are you kidding me? You have a busy schedule of what? Rooting for Kaylee? Well, she didn't win. I won. And didn't you win the week? Didn't you win the game before that? I think you did win the game before that. And I think I paid for that game for you. And you rooted for Katie? Oh, you dirty. You're dirty. You're dirty. That's
Hey.
dirty.
Hey, how's it going?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll bring you up. We'll see.
Can you hear me?
What's up, Arctic?
Hey, how's it going?
Here we go with this shit. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Turn my volume up, maybe. Can you hear me now? How about now? Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I had to turn the volume up on the microphone in the StreamYard.
Oh, well, maybe that helps.
Yeah. Yeah, it was down a little low.
Yeah, like a lot of low. So, Mr. Wolf Arctic Timber,
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, you dogged me out because you had other plans, like sleeping and playing with your computer.
I was sleeping and I've been dicking around with my computer a lot lately. Yeah, last night I was sleeping though. I fell asleep at about 5 p.m. last night.
Jerk.
Yeah. I'm getting old, man.
You're not much older than me, so don't even give me that shit. When were you born? How old are you?
So 75. I'm 48.
Whatever.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
You're
about
only
90.
4 years older than me, dude.
I feel like I'm about
You're only 4 years
95
older than
though.
me. Well, I feel like I'm like 112. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, my joints squeak like the Tin Man when I walk, dude.
Yeah, I make my joints smoke. That was funny. That was funny. I'm not talking about my pants, I'm talking about the ones I roll, you know. I've missed you, bud. I've really missed you. I've really missed you being around here, bud.
Yeah, what, 2 weeks ago, I couldn't get up here because I couldn't get on YouTube when I'm logged into my account.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
so,
forgot you were telling me about
and
that.
it's because they're playing these fucking cyber warfare games with their patrons, I guess you could say. They're only messing with people who have YouTube accounts. I sent you a screenshot just now, by the way.
Oh.
Screenshot what I first got here in tonight's stream. And I loaded up your live stream just now tonight. I was greeted with a
Was there another
whole
fucking commercial on there?
I didn't see, well, yeah, I didn't see a commercial, but there's all these pop-ups and they're constantly advertising their YouTube TV service or some shit. It's like they're trying to compete with NBC, ABC, and CBS now. They get ready to piss off Warner Brothers and Disney too.
Oh,
you know?
that's what's going on with them, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Microsoft's pissed. They've been under investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice for, I don't know, over 10 years. And right now they're in the process of getting sued by the U.S. Justice Department and Rumble and a whole bunch of other people.
These motherfuckers, man. I got your screenshot. That's fucked up.
Oh, I know.
Like, if you're gonna run YouTube, I hope you hear this, YouTube. If you're gonna run ads on my shit, you fucking pay me for it then.
That would make sense.
Shit, you fucking pay me for it.
I mean, if you're not monetized, they shouldn't be running ads on your shit, you know?
Yeah, and I'm not monetized.
Yeah, so basically you're telling them that you don't want them to run ads on your stuff. Like the way I see it, like people like me and you, I'm not on YouTube to make money. That's not my game. That's not my purpose of being on here, you know, and
mine either.
The things, you know, I mean, I've got 24 video uploads and I don't expect a single dime for doing any of that. I mean, I just did that for the shits and giggles and the fun of doing it. And the possibility of maybe helping out one or two people in the world, you know? But what YouTube fails to realize is that the majority of their content on YouTube is not in the form of videos. It's in the form of comments. That's what most of the content on YouTube is. And they're failing to realize that because when they start attacking only people who hold YouTube accounts, all right, people who are logged into a YouTube account are the only people that can actually write a comment on YouTube. And they're attacking those people who are providing the majority of the content for YouTube. All right, by forcing ads and raping your eyes and minds with their advertisements. And they're not attacking people who are logged off of a YouTube account and go into the YouTube website and watching YouTube videos. Those people cannot comment, but they sure as hell can still watch all the videos and stuff and read all the comments.
Yeah.
So what YouTube is doing is, They're hurting themselves. They're
Yeah.
like destroying their own website, basically. Did you notice they took away our about pages on our YouTube channels just this week?
Yeah, I did. I did notice that.
I was
did
like,
notice that.
what the heck's going on here? They've got it now in
Yeah.
a pop-up. You got to click that little arrow that I can barely see because I'm an old person and my eyes don't work like they used to, right? There's that little arrow underneath your channel name. You click that and there's this pop-up window that comes up, and
Oh.
that's where the about page is now. They removed the tab and they put it in a pop-up. So they're messing around with pop-ups, like pop-up windows and shit, and things like that.
Right.
And they're trying to manipulate the software in a way. It's just manipulative. Everything they're doing is like manipulative. I hate fucking manipulative people, you know?
Manipulative people? Yeah, me too.
Right, because they're trying to get power and control over all technology, all computer technology, all information technology. Oh, and I just rebooted my machine tonight too. And when I did, and my computer started back up, it was a fucking pop-up message that said security alert from Google Analytics. Something about some kind of security revocation or some bullshit. You know, and click yes or no. They always give you that choice of yes or no. But there's always that little X up at the fucking top right hand corner of the little bullshit, and there's always that kill switch too, you know? There's always more than two options to choose from.
Yep.
You know, but it's like a fucking empty threat, right? Like they're trying to say that they like
Yep, it is too.
somehow got it. They basically tried to hack my fucking computer, dude. You know?
Yeah, I do know. Like, I think they were fucking around. I think they were fucking around with my shit last night because, like, the live stream was going just fine last night, and then we started talking about YouTube a little bit, and then everything just started going fucking haywire, dude.
Oh, you got to make sure that you have third-party software that is not written by YouTube. That's protecting your, or Google and YouTube. That's protecting your system from them, right? Because that security pop-up, it said something about some revocation thing about a remote computer, and it's a fucking lie, basically. So they must have were able to put some kind of cookie in my fucking browser that got past my security. All right, because when I close on my browser, all my fucking cookies get cleared. But somehow that one got fucking past my browser. And, or it was a Windows security thing saying something about their security certificates being out of date or whatever. But either way, it's bullshit because every time you log on to a fucking web page, it's going to check your security certificates with the hash algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's probably way over your head, dude, but
it kind of is. It kind of is. But I'm starting to kind of learn what you're meaning. You know what I mean?
When you log into or you don't even have to log in. You just it has to do with the HTTPS as opposed to an HTTP. You know. So the S on there means it's just like a secure, verified website. So when you go to websites like that, it actually sends a security certificate hash algorithm to your computer, and it verifies I don't know what the fuck it verifies, to be honest with you. I really don't. It verifies that your computer is compatible with their website or some shit. I don't know. I really don't fucking know.
I don't do it either. I have noticed that difference between the HTTP and the HTTPS, but I never knew what it meant.
All that has to do with the HTTPS websites exchange a security certificate with your computer to
Right.
verify. I don't know what it fucking verifies. I really don't. I'd have to look into it a little bit more. I used to know. I forgot though. But it verifies something. You know, I think it verifies the compatibility of your machine with the hypertext markup language of the website, I think.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into it a little bit deeper. But the HTTP without the S, those websites, they don't exchange that security verification certificate. It's
So
like a
basically, if it doesn't have
P2P.
that S, so if it doesn't have the S at the end of it, then you're just basically anybody be able to hack into you or some shit, right?
Well, no, not necessarily. It's just
No.
like if it doesn't mean that they'll be able to. It just means that they don't exchange that security certificate. It's like an
Okay, I see what you're saying.
it's like an authorization authenticity thing. And I'm not sure exactly what it verifies offhand. I forget. I used to know, but I forget what it does. It verifies something, but what it verifies beats the fucking shit out of me. Like, what could it possibly be verifying? You know, is it checking your driver's license number or something?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I doubt it. You know.
Yeah. Right.
The HTTP would be like, for example, peer-to-peer, right? P2P would be like if my computer, right? So like you've got an IP address through like your internet service provider, but your computer itself has IP address too, right? And it's got ports in there, right? Like your 8080 port, you know, your 127 port, right? Well, your 127 port would be like your home port, right? Like every computer and those ports, they're the same numbers on every computer. So like you and I could set up our personal computers to exchange information just between your computer specifically and my computer specifically, just using like a telephone line. You know what I mean? Like the old school modem way of P2P, right? And that's setting it up. And a lot of people play chess this way. So there's chess applications where you can set up P2P and play games of chess and different video games and shit like that way. And it's like radio communication, kind of. You can think of it that way, at least. But that type of setup doesn't always have a security certificate, but it can. You know what I mean? So, like, you can set up your own personal website on your fucking computer, right? And you can set it up however you want using, you know, a specific IP address on your computer and a specific port on your computer, so that when somebody types in HTTPS or HTTP : / and then the IP address of your computer and then the port, it'll take you right to your fucking computer. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Right, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Right, so it'll take you right to your computer.
It's like bypassing the operator and going directly to the source.
Well, it's bypassing Google is what it's doing. It's completely bypassing any kind of search engines.
Right.
You know, I mean, you don't need a search engine when you know exactly what you're looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you only need a search engine if you're searching for shit.
Right.
I'm not the world's most technologically smart person, but I even know that one. Like, you only need a search engine if you're searching for shit.
That's how hackers and people get into people's computers is through those ports, open ports, and backdoors and shit like that are basically open ports. So they find their way in there, and you should have your computer set up with those security certificates, because then, if a hacker doesn't have the security certificate authorization to access those ports, they're not going to be able to. So those certificates prevent. See, that's what fucking blows me away about getting that shit from Google, though. Google Analytics. Because when I open up a web page on my computer, it shows me everything that's getting loaded onto my browser, onto my display, right? So it's got to go through my router, through a fucking wire, into my computer, down my motherboard, through my central processing unit, through the RAM and the cache and all that shit.
Right.
And then back up an HDMI cord up to my fucking 50-inch big screen TV, where it displays that information to me, and then it travels through the air to my fucking eyeballs, right? Or it travels through the air, through the speakers to my ears, right? So, but all that information is making a path through the machines, right? It's leaving an electronic trail basically as it does it. So when I load up, like, for example, a YouTube video, it shows me right in the bottom corner of my screen, it shows me everything that's getting loaded up and where it's getting loaded up from. So I don't know if your computer does that when you load up a video, but unless you've got certain security on your computer, just loading up a video, you'll notice that it's also loading up over 160 different third-party tracking softwares on your fucking browser. And that's just by clicking on I want to watch this fucking YouTube video, right? But I've noticed that, and I've got security that prevents all that shit. Like right now on just StreamYard, I'm blocking 41 plus 9 plus 5 plus 13 plus 4 plus another 13 different trackers. Okay, 114 different tracking softwares. Spyware softwares. 114 different fucking software packages out there trying to figure out who I am, what I'm doing, and what I'm all about.
Wow.
and that's just on this StreamYard website.
Wow.
Right? And I can show you a screenshot of what I'm seeing from my StreamYard. It doesn't look like anything's out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? And if I wasn't blocking that, there'd be like no different. There might be like a little watermark advertisement or something from StreamYard up in the corner. But they'll hide these tracking softwares underneath different things like that little fucking icon, the little green head of a duck.
Right.
You know,
Like they literally hide shit. Like they can literally hide shit. Like really? Wow.
in a fucking pixel. Yeah, you can hide stuff right in a pixel.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. You can hide an entire, 1 page long, 500 some odd word secret text file inside of a picture. Inside a picture of a fucking green duck, a JPEG image, or a PNG, or any other kind of image. And you do it
Wow.
by storing it in the binary code of the image itself. Because everything on a computer is zeros and ones. That's how the FBI gets all the fucking pedophile weirdos, man.
Well, in that
You
case, I'm
think-
happy for that. I'm glad they have those zeros and ones, but any other reason, I don't really, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, see, that's the thing. All right. So you got these sickos out there that are, looking up child porn and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
They, even if they delete that shit off their computer, they haven't really deleted it. And there's ways of retrieving that, and that's how the FBI does it. It's not that the FBI is going in there and they're like clicking around and, looking through your Windows Explorer and, oh, there's a picture of a naked little 7-year-old or something. That's not what they're doing.
Wow.
They're extracting the information off of the hard drive in the form of zeros and ones and recompiling it. And so even if a person deletes a file off of their computer, it's not really deleted. You think that you click delete, right? That file goes over into the recycling bin, right?
Yeah.
And then you empty the recycling bin and you think that it's erased off your hard drive. Well, it's not. It's not. The computer has just unallocated those specific sectors of the hard drive to be able to rewrite new information onto it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So it's not erased. Not even after those sectors are rewritten over.
Yeah, it's never ever gone. Once it's been put on the internet, it'll always be there.
No, the internet's not forever, and none of this stuff is. But there's layers, right? So there are ways of erasing a hard drive. But if you're just rewriting over it, you could have 7 layers of information getting rewritten over a one little sector. Just call it a sector of a hard drive. You can still retrieve the information off all 7 of those layers. You know what I mean? And that's how the FBI does it.
Pretty much.
No.
They look at each of those layers and then they can retrieve that data. There's software out there that you can get in case you accidentally delete something off your hard drive, where it'll go back and it'll look at the zeros and ones and it'll try to recover that lost data off your hard drive.
I agree, Oladio. Technology is really scary.
It's not scary. I mean, it's just that's just how computers work, though. Like you think that
Like I'm being scary, like as in, like what people can do with technology is scary. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well,
Like
anything's
hacking the baby
scary. I
monitors
mean,
and shit, and you know what I mean? Like that's scary.
well, yeah. I got. I picked up this baby monitor from Goodwill for like $5, right? It's an infrared camera. The resolution's like crap. I don't know. It's maybe 360p, 480p. It's just crap. And then it's got a small little 5-inch screen on it. Both of them need to be plugged into like a 7.2 volt source outlet. But the cool thing about it is the video camera is wireless. So it sends a radio signal, it sends a radio signal of the video. I think it's got audio too, I forget. Yeah, I think it does have audio too. So it sends it through a radio wave to this little monitor or the little display in the same way our old school analog television sets used to pick up TV. You know what I mean? So we used to be able to hook up a fucking antenna, plug it into the back of our TV, and change the frequency dial of the stations until we tuned in our TV, right? This baby monitor works the same way, only it's specifically hardwired to one frequency. But like what you're saying, anybody can hack into these things. Because if you know what frequency that camera is sending, security cameras that are wireless are the same way. They're very easy to hack into them because it's a radio signal. And it's an analog radio signal, usually. You know what I mean? So all you need is a fucking TV that can get to those ranges of frequencies. It's all just radio. It's not really hacking. You just need a tuner that you just dial it in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's a radio signal. Right. That antenna off that camera, it's not sending a radio signal through a thin little wire in one direction. It's sending that radio signal out omnidirectionally. So it's going up, left, down, right, north, south, east, west. Every direction is getting that radio signal. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it's sending it everywhere.
Oh, lady, you're a fucking hoot and a half. Like, even if G2K throws and breaks his laptop, can we recover his data?
Even if G2K throws, what's that say? Gosh, my eyes are really bad.
Even if GTK throws and breaks his laptop, can you still recover it? The data on it?
Yeah, for sure.
I've been on the brink these last few days, dude. Like, ready just to smash shit, dude. For real.
You can.
That's how bad StreamYard has been these last few days, dude.
I bet.
It's been horrible.
You can, even if your hard drive doesn't even spin anymore, right? So you plug in your hard drive, it doesn't even start spinning. So you crack it up with a hammer, you open it up, and you look at it, and you see that on the little arms, there's these little heads, these magnetic heads on each of the arms that reads the data off the hard drive platter. And you notice that those little heads have worn and are broken, and that's why the thing, stopped working. You can actually take that hard drive platter physically off of that hard drive and put it in a different hard drive case, spin it up, and recover that data off there. just so long as the motor that runs the spindle isn't burnt out, then you need to replace that motor that runs the spindle. Yeah, the only real surefire way of removing the data off a hard drive is to take that platter out and physically melt that platter down in some very strong acid.
Completely make it so it's non-existent.
Yeah, you can use fire too, I guess, if you melt it down with fire, maybe reshape it into something, like a little sword, forge it into a sword, old school. But acid works pretty good too, though. It's less effort.
Acid works for a lot of things these days.
Dissolve it down, like literally. Candy Wrapper, who's that?
She's from Steffer's channel and a couple other channels around that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But oh, I got that job today. I got a job today. Another one.
New job. That's cool.
Yeah. For a new up and coming delivery company called delivery.com. They went real original with their idea for their name of their company, but
working your way up to UPS, man.
Oh hell no! You can pay me to do UPS.
Before you know it, you'll be a mailman.
Fuck all that shit. I'd definitely be the one to go postal. Like for real. We can't believe it. It's happened today. The postman went postal in the post office. Well, that's what happens. But it starts out at $19 an hour, and I don't have anybody sitting there breathing over my fucking neck and watching me every movement I make and all that shit,
Yeah. That's some pretty good money, man. $19 an hour.
Yeah.
I've never made $19 an hour in my life.
The other day I made fucking $85 in an hour.
Wow.
That was cool.
That's what,
and then just
tips.
2 nights ago. The tips and delivery fee and all that shit, yeah. And then just 2 nights ago, I was getting ready. I came home, sat here with my wife for a little bit, and then about 3:30 in the morning, I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll kick off my shoes and get ready to lay down for a little bit. And I decided to turn Uber back on real quick. So I checked it out. I turned it all back on. About 30 seconds later, a fucking order comes up and it was $33 to go from my house to Burger King, which is like 2 miles. And the drop-off point was like a mile away from there. And as soon as I accepted that one, another order came up for $37. I was like, bam, I accepted that one. I drove like 9 miles total, made $70 almost.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. That's like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
9 miles.
Yeah. It took about a half an hour altogether for me getting back up, putting my shoes on, getting my actual clothes back on instead of my pajamas, and getting in the car, driving all the way across town, driving back, took about half an hour altogether. Half an hour round trip from my house back to my house, made $70.
Skynet's trying to take your job away from you, though, dude. They try to get everybody to get everything delivered with drones.
Yeah, well, guess what? I'll just start shooting them out of the fucking air. A real life version of Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm excited. So I gotta send him a copy of my driver's license and my insurance, and then this delivery service is a little bit different than Uber and DoorDash and shit. But like they're gonna send me a credit card for the company, and then like I'll get directly from the customer, and then I go and just purchase it with the credit card and then deliver it to the customer, and they deal with all the other shit, I guess, pretty much.
Oh.
But I don't expect it to be that busy to begin with, because like I said, they're just a new up and coming business, you know what I mean? At least around here anyway. They're only hiring one driver for this area. So
Wow.
For now.
Well, hopefully you get a lot of business.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. I like that money, you know.
Do you get you don't get like any kind of hourly wage for being on call though, do you? Or do you?
No, I will just from what I understand, I'm just gonna like put the times down that I'm available. So I'll work in enough time between DoorDash and Uber, and then delivery.com. I'll just work in times, you know, because there's certain days of the week around here, and certain times of the day around here that are just deader than dog shit around here for Uber and DoorDash, where I don't make any kind of money. So if I can get on the other one and get paid by the hour, whether I'm making deliveries or not, you know what I mean? It's kind of a win-win-win for me.
Absolutely.
So
that's good. Glad to hear that.
I'm excited. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go to work. All this talking about work makes me want to go to work. I'm gonna go make some deliveries, go make some more money. It's crazy. Like it gets addicting, man.
Oh yeah, you get in the groove, man. You just gotta keep on going. You know, don't want to stop.
Between Uber Eats and DoorDash, I've been doing them for almost 2 months now. I've made 1,100 deliveries so far.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a lot of running around, man.
Like they add up. I drove 7,000 miles last month, dude.
Jeez. You get paid mileage too? Do they compensate you for that?
For what?
For mileage, wear and tear on your vehicle and stuff.
Yes and no. Like they don't compensate me for mileage, but there's another app that keeps track of my mileage, and then I can use that on my tax return because they have to 1099 me. So because I'm an independent contractor, so
do you verify that with your actual odometer?
Yeah, well, this app, like I log into it before I go to do a delivery. It takes a minute to do it, but I put in where I'm at, I put in my address, and I put where I'm going, and then once I get there and find out the address I'm going to, from there I put that address in there, and it just tracks my mileage, and I'll be able to use that as a tax write-off. Plus I've kept all the receipts that I've paid in gas. So that'll be classified as a business. That'll be a business expense for me. And then
I hope that's not a Google app.
Yeah, it's not. Actually, it's not. As a matter of fact, it's not.
You know what? Because I used to have a job years and years ago where I used to have to drive a lot, and I was on call a lot and stuff. And I used to have to keep track of my mileage, but I did it by hand with the actual odometer. So every time I went from point A to point B, I would write down starting mileage reading on my odometer and an ending mileage reading on my odometer and
Yeah,
stuff.
my dad used to do that too. My dad used to do that same thing. My mom and dad both did that same thing.
Yeah, you
But
should probably do that too, dude, because I wouldn't trust this fucking technology because it might be
yeah, that's a good
inaccurate.
idea. No, that's a
And
good idea.
every little eighth of a mile fucking adds up, dude. It really
Yeah.
does.
Well, when you take well, I sat down and kind of figured it out roughly in my head. And last month, even though I made a pretty good chunk of change, I put out over $1,200 in gas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, plus you keep track of your gas receipts, you keep track of your oil changes,
Yep, I do. I got
and you
all of them.
keep track of your fucking brake pads too.
Yep.
You know, all
But
that wear and tear on your vehicle, you know, you just keep
yeah,
track of that shit, you know.
and then Uber, once you hit a certain level with Uber, they give you as long as you go through advanced auto parts. I don't know if you guys got one of those around there, but around here we got
Down in
advanced auto parts.
Madison or yeah. I don't know if there's one up around here. Down in Madison there is one.
But with Uber, I get 40% off all auto parts, including oil
Nice.
and oil filters and all that shit. And I also get 35% off from DoorDash. So I just put them together. They run them together because they're two different apps.
70%.
So I get 70% off of auto parts and shit. So, you know.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to work. I gotta take my son to work anyway. So.
All right, man. Sounds good. You have a good night.
Being a fucking stranger, Arctic.
Yeah, I'll try to be around a little more.
All right, set a reminder on your alarm clock or something. I know you ain't got a cell phone, so I can't tell you to set your phone.
I know. I got a wind up alarm clock. It winds up.
Now that you finally fucking hit me up on Discord, I'll just have to start reminding you. You know what I mean? Hey, asshole! It's Thursday night. You're supposed to be somewhere.
Yeah. Just send me a little message, a little reminder or something.
Will do, man.
All
right, guys.
Old parts
I'm gonna get out of here.
All right. Have a good night, Aaron.
You too, bro.
All right. Later.
Later, man. Candy Rapper says, thanks for the rundown on the lives. I enjoy watching G2K. Have a great night. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words, Candy Rapper. I really do. I really do. Old lady, my spiritual ma. Remember, Monday G2K is MMIW night. Tuesday is tie-dye Tuesday. Thursday is chilling and chatting. Friday is FBI Friday. Holy crap. We really got that many program shows? Holy shit. So what are we missing? We're missing a Wednesday show and a Saturday show and a Sunday show, right? So come up with some ideas, you guys. Let's see. Let's get a G2K live every day going. How about that? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna fly through the chat real quick. Oh, you know I love you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate the support. Candy Rapper, thank you for being here and being a member of this community. I really appreciate it. I love seeing new faces here. Every single time I get a new face here, it means the world to me. Opus Angels, my sister, you know I got a bone to pick with you. Rich the beer guzzler. Rich. That's right. That's what I was going to start calling him, huh? Rich the rich. Rich the rich.
Maybe he doesn't need to go to work because it's 10:00.
I love you, bro. Arkansas, thank you for being here. I really appreciate the support. Mana, thank you for being here. I didn't see you pop in there, but now I do.
Stop it. Your dad's going to take you.
Stop it. Ready? Okay. All right, guys, I got to go. My son needs to ride to work. I'm out of here. Do me a favor and tell your friends about me because wanna know. Get to know. Later. Until we meet again.